Hey guys, this is Riley doing another replay analysis. This time it's going to be for H1ghspeedGG, who is playing Thresh support. And this is a bronze game. He was bronze 5 when I recorded this. I'm going to fast forward till things get going. He bought the standard wards and potions. That's a good start for support. It's safe and you have some sustain. He should help his jungler with wolves and blue. Okay, he's going to do that, so that's good. The blue side did do golems, so they'll have their advantage. If you're going to 2v2 against a lane that has golems, there's two things you can do. You can push really hard at level 1 and try to catch up in XP by killing all the creeps first. Or you can pretty much sit back at your turret and wait for the creeps to come to you and just farm under turret. Graves just tried to farm normally and it got him killed. I'd say that maybe if he exhausted right away he could have saved his Graves, but that was just poor play by him. At level 1 you have to be making a play to get level 2 or getting back so you don't get killed by the other team's level 2. So he'll get some farm. He can't stay in lane with his health. He has to recall quickly, so he's there for Graves. Or he needs to use his potions. So he used a potion to be able to stay and get that farm. That's pretty worth it, I'd say. And he got some good wards out. Hopefully Graves can come back. Quinn has 7 potions, that's really weird. So what Quinn should do with that is just try to make a lot of small trades, just poking and backing up. And the red side should try to either avoid trades or they just have to all in so Quinn can't heal up. Right there, he needed to land his hook to win that trade, but they might be alright. They should just recall right now and wait for this wave to reset, because Graves is behind in items and Thresh needs to heal. Here's a trade. The red minions are hitting the blue people. So red actually has an advantage in this, if they play it well. They got a kill even though they were behind, so it wasn't bad. But yeah, they should have recalled, as soon as they got the lane shoved out, because Graves needed to buy items. Now Graves has a Doran's Blade and Quinn only has a Lawn Sword, so they should try to fight right now and not let Quinn go recall. You can't waste Q on Thresh, because it's like such a big part of his being able to trade. So unless you're gonna hit it, you shouldn't throw it, pretty much. Unless you like know they won't fight back, but oh well. He should use his potion right now so he's full health in the next trade. Or else he's gonna die, pretty much. There's a good hook, they can win this, because Graves has more AD than Quinn. But Graves got hit by the Shen taunt, he needed to dodge it and didn't. So Quinn is playing way better than Graves right now. There are some games where if you're playing a duo lane in solo queue, your lane partner will just fail you. At this point, they need to find a way to farm under turret without dying, because they're not going to be able to trade with Queen when she's this fed. You should never have that many deaths in lane, because it just screws your team over. They pretty much played level 1 really poorly, then all of the chances Graves had to come back were played poorly. Then what Thresh could have done is keep himself at full HP to be ready to fight, and he could have used his keys way better. What Graves should do is just queue this wave, then go somewhere else. Cause he really needs to stop feeding. Now he should leave. Like immediately. So it looks like the red team is gonna be greedy, trying to farm when they can't, and they're gonna end up feeding more kills. Right now, he was chasing Shen while the Quinn with BF sword is hitting him. That's really questionable. Oh. I'm not sure why Quinn didn't kill Thresh there. That dive was pretty greedy. But it actually played out well. Quinn's gonna lose this cannon minion to turret. So that's good. Graves can clear this wave, then recall right now. That would be very smart. But by not recalling when he had his chance, he's gonna get in an awkward situation later, I think. Because if he's just standing here with no mana, when Quinn comes back to the lane, he's gonna get owned. So yeah, low elo people definitely are bad about knowing when to recall. He should have cleared that, he should have just walked up here, cleared the wave immediately, then recalled quickly before Quinn got back. Since he recalled so late, Quinn's gonna have plenty of time to push, and Graves is gonna miss this whole wave, which is really bad. So Thresh got caught in the jungle. Luckily Xerath was near enough. Like, it's only safe to ward if your teammates are near, pretty much. Graves got a kill, that could be good or bad. He does need gold to catch up, but the fact that he got a kill means he's worth gold again, so he really needs to not die. to Quinn. So it's 2-on-1 right now, and Quinn doesn't have HP, so they could actually look to make a kill happen. Thresh is not high enough health to fight though. Pretty much, unless you have potions or lifesteal, you can't be taking damage. So since Thresh is low, they need to recall. Graves should just like clear this wave and get out. And on Thresh, I would not use W to farm souls because you need the shield or sometimes the escape to help actually win the lane. Yeah, they stay too long, and it's gonna get them killed. Okay. The reason you don't want to farm souls on Thresh unless it's easy is because the souls are like, they appear like, it's called pseudo-random, like it's supposed to be random when they appear, but they try to make it balanced so you have pretty much the same amount of souls every game. Like if you don't take any souls at the start of the game will make them appear like much more often later. So pretty much you can miss souls to be safe or save your skill or save your lantern, and then you'll just get all of them later. So farming souls on Thresh should not be a priority at all. And if you do farm all the souls like early game, then they aren't going to show up as much late game. So pretty much no matter what you do, you're going to have the same amount. So Graves is way behind without a turret to fall back on. I think they could one-shot Quinn with both of their ults, but if Graves gets like Shen taunted, then they're gonna get killed. So he can only fight if they are confident that Thresh can CC Quinn and Graves can dodge Shen taunt. Oh, here they got something. If Graves had a good ignited ult, Quinn would be dead right now. Yeah, Graves like missed his Q and ignited late. That was poor. But luckily Quinn's making mistakes. Graves just got like plus 500 or something from that because Quinn was on such a huge streak. So he actually has his Bloodthirster now. If Quinn makes another mistake, Graves can one-shot her again, especially if he hits his skills this time. Yeah, Thresh should just kill these minions and recall. He's gonna try to get the turret. That's sort of like a personal preference decision. Like, if you got the turret, it would have helped your team get a little bit of gold, but you wasted your chance to recall, and actually you didn't even get the turret, which was sort of bad. The thing is, you're pretty much gonna get the turret later, so you don't have to like force to get it right now. I'm not sure if you could have bought an item right now. Yeah, you have 900 gold, you could have bought some health for the next fight. Or like a ninja tab I may have helped you. Shen used taunt on Thresh. Graves should look to blow Quinn up right now. For some reason he's on the Shen when Quinn has like Bloodthirster Zeal. That makes no sense. If the AD carry is doing like 10 times as much damage as the support is, then you should be looking to focus the AD carry. Early game, like, the carry and support are more equal, so you can look to focus the support if they're squishy, but in a 2v2 this late, you need to go for the damage dealer. But I think that was more of Graves' fault than Thresh's. So bot lane's sort of give or take in solo queue. It sucks that you can't like decide. You don't get a full decision. You don't get to fully decide who wins the bot lane, but it is good to influence it because the team that wins bot lane in solo queue wins most of the games, I've noticed. So being able to directly affect what happens in bot lane is still good. I think every role has like an equal chance of carrying in solo queue, except a mid might have more influence than the other roles. Right now the gold's pretty even. They should be looking to group up and have Zed. They should look to have Kha'Zix and Xerath poke, because those are the two who need to carry this game right now. Graves and Zed managed to get themselves very behind, but Xerath's actually really fed. I don't know, like, Xerath's 4-0. He said he wants his team mid, so his team should be going mid right now. He's getting dove, sucks for him. The team barely lived, but Graves needs to be mid right now. If you're not like pushing a turret, then you need to be grouping at this point. Like a lot of people would say, like a lot of people last season would say you should freeze your lane to get more farm than like your lane opponent, but people have learned how to punish it. Like, if you freeze your lane now, then the enemy team's just gonna roam while you're doing nothing. Graves got lucky with some cleanup kills right there, that's good for him. Now he's screwing up, but he lives. Master Yi actually went AP, that's sort of weird. They just need to be careful that he doesn't start getting resets. Master Yi is almost always worth focusing, because they never build tanky. This dragon should be free right now, so it's good of them to do it. Blue team's just not in a position to contest it, so they should try to take that, then get out. Maybe Xerath could stay mid to try to wave clear so they don't lose this mid turret, but everyone else needs to go heal. Xerath's really fed. They should definitely look to play around him right now, because he has the power to carry this game. Yeah, right there he like cancelled his recall to get 2 souls. Not worth it in my opinion, because he needs to hurry up and help defend mid. Maybe Xerath can wave clear this. He only hit 2 creeps, that's actually sort of bad. But Yi was really scared of him for some reason. He just had to dodge the skill shots and he could have finished off the turret. So Thresh should just try to put some wards around mid and help his Xerath stay alive at this point. Graves actually got strong, he just 1v1'd Quinn. So maybe Graves will redeem himself for like his awful early game plays. Right now these two are screwing up. They're not pushing, they're not grouping. Don't be the person who does that to your team. So right now these two should be pushing. One of them should at least get these minion spot. Like after you get a kill, you should try to make something out of it, not just farm wraiths. He did get the cannon minion, so that's good. Now what Kha'Zix should want to do is like shove out bot lane a bit to like around tier and then group up mid. But he's just standing around in his jungle. That's like very low level play right there. He's not really doing anything. So pretty much everyone should try to work on their time management. Like you want to get the farm available as quickly as possible, then get in a position to actually help your team. So these two should group right now. Running through river right now is dangerous because they didn't have any vision of like anything. I should actually change the team camera. Like they're blind in a lot of places, so they have to be careful where they go without the full team with them. Zed's crushing Zed this game. Hopefully Xerath can clean up tech kill. Graves should not fight this because he doesn't know where everyone is pretty much. Now he can push because people backed up a bit. Thresh should try a ward like right in that bush so they know they're not getting like flanked. And now they're gonna have to clear this wave eventually, but they should try to get some pressure on mid as a team right now. As long as they farm this before it like gets lost to turret, it's fine. So everyone's grouped except Thresh. That's sort of bad, but if he just bought that Aegis, then it was worth it. This wave's still building up, it's gonna end up at their turret. So they have to like do something right now. They just got a kill, they should be pushing. These guys like ran away as the fight started, that's not good. You want to be aware of like what's going on and try to help your team. They were able to finish off the fight well, they should definitely push right off of this. Getting like an inner turret is way better than getting a dragon, especially since they may be able to get dragon later anyways. Like forcing a dragon once the enemy team respawns is way easier than forcing a turret when they're alive. So you want to get the turret when you have the chance. I'm not sure if they actually timed dragon or if they're just hoping it will respawn. If they timed it, then that's good. I don't have timers on. I turned off chat because people were spamming me when I was doing videos. They did end up missing the whole creep wave top, so that was like 300 gold that went to waste. But since they made the plays on mid turret and dragon, it ended up being worth it. But next time they need to try to shove out the lanes a little bit better before they group up. And then once they group up, try to use their time like more efficiently. So Thresh has Aegis, that's good for helping the team. Sightstone's a pretty good item on a support. And then Kindle Gem's a great item. Cooldown reduction's a nice stat for supports, and then being tankier always helps. Against this double AP, I think he should look to upgrade that Aegis to a Bulwark soon. Then, since his team doesn't have a locket, he should get that. Because then Zhao and Master Yi and Swain all do lots of area of effect. So right now, Zed's split pushing. These people should be backing up, because they're like solo laners not with them, and the other team's only missing their support. Kha'Zix like is giving up the game for a red buff. I don't know why he thought that was good. But now he actually came mid to his team, so they're gonna be able to turn it around. Xerath's probably very frustrated right now, because he's like getting his team through the game, but like none of his teammates help him. At least Graves was able to get big just off of cleaning up kills, so maybe he could carry this now. I think everyone on this red team could do a better job of like being there for each other. They could maybe get this right. They should not fight without Xerath, they should back up. Like, this is really disorganized. Like, blue team could have had their whole team if they waited 2 seconds, but they tried to go in alone. You don't want to fight unless you have an advantage. Like, there was no reason for them to go in 2-on-4. Now Xerath's getting a chance to actually cast spells, and it's going well for them. Kha'Zix had to recall, so they should consider leaving. That was just poor micro by Graves. You should know like the range of your dash and know how to point it right. If you're gonna play a carry role especially. But if your teammates make mistakes, you just have to try to work with it, because like the other team's making mistakes too. You just have to try to limit your own and punish what the enemy does. And they did a pretty good job of that. Like blowing up Quinn every time she misstepped helped them come back in the game. Now, people got a lot of gold from that fight, so they should look to buy items. Then I'd say their best play would be to take all 5 people and kill this open inhibitor. The red team has good poke, and if a fight breaks out, they can win it if they protect Graves and Xerath. So they should be grouping and going for the easy objective. Like, there's not even a turret protecting this. Graves is like trying to gank. It would be good if he realized that inhibitors are worth way more than kills. Like, ganking's not right now. Zed should clear that wave, then they should all go mid. But since they're wasting so much time, they're actually gonna have to send someone bot now to clear this wave. Like, they could, if they were an organized team and like good at the game, then both side lanes would be pushed like up to river or a little bit past it, and they would be all 5 pressuring this inhibitor. So hopefully Xerath can clear this wave and push it out a bit, and then hopefully red team will group. Not sure if he was lagging or like being cocky, but he should have realized that Xerath's not with him and he needs to be careful. Kha'Zix died before Xerath even got there, but they're all bunching up for Xerath. If the main threat on the enemy team is AoE, then you really need to try not to bunch up. So blue team sort of screwed themselves. They had such an easy fight and messed it up. They actually did win. It was just way closer than it should have been. The team needed to know to play careful with Xerath not there. Like, Kha'Zix and Thresh were dead before Xerath got there. And then Graves and Zed died shortly after. So they lost 2 turrets for that and a lot of kills. So now they definitely have to play better if they want to win this. They're finally shoving out a lane, like, finally. Hopefully they'll actually group now. They can still win a 5v5 if they're actually as 5. Like, it's actually disgusting how little people group in this elo, because they're like lost or something. This is pushing towards the enemy so they can ignore bot lane. I think they should even ignore Xin pushing, and they should just take the free inhibitor mid right now. They still do have an advantage. They need to stop wasting time and get something done. And they definitely need to not be splitting up and stuff. Like, all their strength is in like poke and AoE, so they should be grouping as 5. If Zed was fed, then he's a good split pushing hero, but he's not. They need to group up and protect Xerath and Graves. So there was 2 deaths for free because the team wasn't really in a position to help each other. They're just like walking around the map randomly, scared to group up for some reason. If they get together and play a team fight well, then they will win it. Right now, Thresh can't even ward safely until his team goes with him. So he really needs to tell his team to group and push. And then they need to protect Graves and Xerath. So we'll see what they do. They're still not grouping. Like, they see Xin Zhao's bot, they could force Baron, or they could just run up mid right now. Instead they let Xin push for free, and they're not getting anything out of it. And Graves like isn't even pushing really, he's just like farming. That's really bad. He is gonna go back to they're all going back to stop one person. Like against a good team, that's like Baron is gone. Like I don't know what Graves is doing. Xin can kill him. Except Zin's really scared for some reason. So if you guys want to learn something from this game, I talked earlier about what to do level 1 on purple side, bot lane. That's a good thing to know if you're against someone who's like doing golems and looking to play the lane aggressively. But the way you should really learn is that once like laning phase ends, you need to shove out your lane and group. And the only exception is like if you're a good split pusher, then you should be actually pushing. Like you can't just be farming the jungle while the other team's grouping and taking turrets for free. Like they're not even shoving out the lanes either. They're losing like thousands of gold by letting creeps die to turrets. The fact that they're missing that much gold and still not grouping mid is, it's just like baffling. Like I think all of these kids could get to a higher elo just by like learning priorities and like trying really hard to be efficient with their time. So right now there's 2 down. They can push that inhib as long as someone protects Therath. Kha'Zix should get in there so Xerath can cast spells. I don't know why Kha'Zix is hiding behind his carry. Like I guess Kha'Zix decided he wanted to be the carry of the team, so no one's tanking anything. That's not good. They could actually end the game right now if they tried. Thresh should be grouped. You don't want to like AFK farm as a support, you want to help your team, I'd say. Because like they have an opportunity to end the game right now and they're missing it. They should at least do Baron or something. Graves and Thresh could tank Baron right now. So these guys definitely don't know what to do when they have an advantage. I think watching like tournaments could actually help them a lot with that. Like there's games where like Gambit Gaming like gets 2 kills and they took Baron and it's like killed 3 turrets mid and an inhib off of like 2 kills mid game. It's just because like they know that they need to take objectives when they have advantages and they all go for it together and they don't waste time. Baron is pinked pretty nicely, so this is easy for them. They should take that Baron advantage and just push top right now. Like, they could take this turret easily with Baron. Instead, they're all like messing around. I guess stealing blue's good, but they should really be pushing. And they should know taking an inner turret is way easier than taking both Nexus turrets at once. And they should be pushing this. They could tank it out, honestly. Thresh could just tank it if his team would hit it. But a lot of time's being wasted right now. Right now you should be grouping with your team. You have a ward to scout that out. And it's not like you can fight them if they come through. You need to be with your team. Oh, Quinn's caught. That should be game over. Quinn face checks, which is not good. if you're the carry. Face checking's acceptable if you're a tank and your whole team's behind you. That's about the only time. So they should get inhibitor off of this. 2 down. The Fed AD carry is dead. So they want to be looking for this inhibitor. If they push and don't like go farm wolves or something, then they'll get inhib. I'm rooting for them. I'd love to know where Graves is right now. Oh. Wait, did Graves die in that fight? Graves recalled with 100 HP when he could have just... he has a Bloodthirster and a Blade for the Ruined King. Like, he could have just shot a creep 4 times and he would have been full health and been able to push his advantage. So he recalled because he'd rather buy an item than get an inhibitor. Don't do that to your team. If you have ways to get your health back up, like 50 lifesteal, then you should get your health back up and help your team. Because they had such a free inhibitor right there if he stayed with them. Now he's back with them, they have another chance at this inhibitor. Quinn decided to die again. She's throwing, pretty much. Now with 2 inhibitors down, there's going to be automatic pressure in the top and middle lanes from the super minions. So what they could do is just go all bot and just stand there. But since Quentin's dead, they can actually just end the game right now. So I'd say Thresh should be looking, if he wants to improve his game, he should be looking to group more and like help the people that can carry him. And then if you're playing a farming role, you should be looking to clear out your wave and go group after a certain point. Eventually they won, I think, just because the enemy team was messing around instead of trying to group and get Baron control, and then Quinn got caught twice in a row. But yeah, I think everyone in this game could have played it better, so I can see why all of them are bronze. And I'd say they could all get higher if they managed their time better.